Alright, I'm going to try to give a brief overview of how to use NLA tracks to uh, kind of make new animations or edit some of Bohemia's existing animations. I set up my animation workspace here according to the tutorial on Bohemia's wiki. Um, so that's pretty standard. I'm just using the M27 and the Stenag mag that Punky gave me. So first things first, after you get all this set up, I'm going to bring in some of the M16 animations into this workspace. I'm going to do that by going to File, Append, and then you can see here this is all of the animation data that they put up on GitHub. I forget when, but I downloaded all of it. So I go into the M16. First thing I want to do is get the um, erect remove mag animation. So I'm going to select on that blend file and I'm going to append. It's going to take me into it, and from there I'm going to grab the action armature action. By appending this, and if I select everything and then select it, I now have the remove mag animation from the M16. And so from here, I'm going to go up to the NLA tracks. I'm going to push this down, rename this something like erect reload. Had I renamed the armature action before putting it up there, it would have said that name there. So from here, I'm going to take the next step in a reload animation. Same thing, append, but now I'm going to go to erect insert mag, action, armature action. Now if I select the new one, you can see everything got wacky. It's because I still have this NLA track active. If I disable that, everything looks good. That's the insert mag animation. So I'm going to rename this to M16 insert mag. I'll even put the erect abbreviation there. And then we're going to push down again. That made a whole new track. What I want to do is just bring this down here following that one. If I select this and hit X, I get rid of that. And reactivating this track, I can now see that I get the remove mag and then the insert mag back to back. And so what I would do is take all my reload actions, put them on this track, and I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now I have all of my actions up here sorted into NLA tracks, and I have the full reload animation up there. If I hit play, it's going to play the one that is checkmarked, which is the erect one. And I just put in everything in order that it would somewhat be played back to back. So now my goal for editing this is going to be to, instead of putting mags back here in free space, I'm going to try to get them into this. But the idea of using the NLA editor to do this is that I will get to keep a lot of the animation data already made by Bohemia and just edit small things. So to start, I'm just going to change the grip that I'm having on this mag. And to do that, I'm going to go all the way back to frame 0, and I'm going to create a new action here. When I do that, the edits I make on this new action will be layered on top of the active action that I have, the active NLA track that I have up here. So, for instance, I'm going to create a new action. I'll call it rec adjustments. So now, as I'm going through, we'll go to where the magazine gets grabbed. And that's where I want to make my first edit. So what I'll do here is just edit the hand position in a way I see fit. Okay, so something like that. Obviously it's ugly, it doesn't look right. I'm just going to start by trying to grab the magazine from the bottom. I'm going to keyframe this, and then as the animation continues to play, you can see it took my keyframe information and is applying it on top of the track that's already active. So now he's just going to swing that magazine around by the butt of it, holding it in a really stupid way. But that's what it means by like layering it. We don't now need to worry about doing all this movement and making it natural. Bohemia did most of that. We're just kind of making small adjustments as we go. One of the catches is if I go back, this is the point that I added a new keyframe. If I go back before this, that hand animation data is also taking place right there. So in order to avoid the situation that I just showed before, a good idea of what to do is to like make a keyframe that will kind of always bring you back to that base animation. So in this instance, I don't want my new animation for interacting with the magazine to affect how I'm handling the gun. So what I would do is I would just right from the start here, I can keyframe without making any changes to to the animation, and then again we'll go back to interacting with the magazine, and I will once again edit this. Okay, so much like before, I've kind of put the hand in a wacky position, but it's different from what it was before. I'm going to keyframe this, and now from here you'll see that like, okay, it's going to follow like I wanted it to before, but now that I have this keyframe right here at frame 0, that I can use that keyframe to kind of always bring me back to that base animation. So I'm going to go up here, and voila, we have the base animation still right there, and I can always use this keyframe for this hand to, like, let's say down here I want to go back to holding it the quote-unquote normal way. Bingo. I just put that keyframe there, voila, everything's back to normal there, so our guy is going to do a weird wacky hand pose and then whoop, flip it back to normal. But that is kind of the gist of using the NLA editor to edit the existing animations. I can make little edits on top of what Bohemia has already done. So especially if you've made like a rifle or something that is very similar to the base game's M16, you don't have to create animations from scratch. You can use this to make small hand adjustments.